Oops. Hi everyone. I don't know why it's so light when I start a recording. Anyway, I'm going to do a reading for you. This time the reading is on what kind of woman you are in a relationship and outside of a relationship. And if there is a difference between that, what you can do to, well, basically diminish that difference so that you're the same whether you're in a relationship or not. I'm going to show you the cards and then I'm going to sit down, put the camera in the stand as well, and then we're going to so first of all we have for the number 1 a rose, for the numbers 2 it's an Egyptian like perfume bottle, and the numbers 3 maybe you're interested in a diamond, and the numbers 4, I don't know why, I just felt like getting a lighthouse in there. So it's a little booklet with a tiny little lighthouse on it. So if you are drawn to that, then you are number 4. So that's your choice. The diamond, I can barely see it anymore. A rose, a perfume bottle, a diamond, or, oops, the lighthouse. Well, before I'm getting into the reading, I would like to tell you very shortly, very shortly, and if you're not interested in that, you can follow the timestamps in the description box underneath the video to go straight into the reading. The reason I'm doing this reading is because there often is a difference between how we are in a relationship and how we are outside of a relationship. Sometimes we are aware of it, sometimes we're not, so maybe this reading can help you with that. Can then also hopefully help you with some guidance as to what you can do to, just be the same, whether you're in a relationship or not. And also, if you feel that you want help with that, to become more empowered as a woman, have more self-love, able to have healthy boundaries, deal with masks you wear, like masks, for instance, that you wear in a relationship, that you do not wear when you're not in a relationship, but all kinds of masks, not just that, also judgment and working on self-confidence, self-respect, and so on and so forth. Next week I'm going to have to start a 3-week online course for that, Forever Feminine. And I have recently revised that. It used to be 30 days, but to better accommodate women who have a busy life, I've reduced the number of assignments you get and also made it a bit shorter. Of course, that also means that the price has gone down. It's only logical, it's only fair. And so now it's set up like 3 weeks, and then you get 3 assignment days a week. So that would be on Mondays, on Wednesdays and Fridays. So then you have Tuesday and Thursday to, well, work on these assignments, or just not do anything if you've already done them. And do whatever it is you have to do or want to do. And then weekends, of course, is always off. I never do anything over the weekend, because I also enjoy the weekend, and you need time to let things sink in anyway. And so that's how it is set up now, 3 weeks, and that starts Monday the 28th. I do know in America you have your Memorial Day weekend, but since there is no assignment on Tuesday, you can easily just catch up if you haven't got the time on Monday. Because there is this time, right? It's just 3 assignment days a week. So there is plenty of time for you to then still start and catch up. The nice thing about this as well is that I still have discount if you sign up until the 24th of, which is... I don't know, 2 days from now, for me anyway. It of course varies where you live, but it doesn't matter. If you sign up before the 24th in your time zone, you will get the discount. And so if you're interested in that, check out my website to see the offer, what it is all about, how it works, etc, etc. It's completely online, so it doesn't matter where you live. So yeah, I'll put the link to my website, to the page where you can read all about it, and also about the discount you're gonna get in the description box underneath this video, where I always put the timestamps too. So yeah, that was that. If you're interested in it, Forever Feminine, and I've done a shorter version of Forever Feminine, a 5-day version, and well, even in these 5 days, what these women learned and the insights they got out of that, and the changes, and it was just wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. So go figure what you can do when you have 3 weeks with 3 assignment days. And so yeah, again, check it out if that piques your interest. And then I'm going to get into the reading for the numbers 1. Let's see the people who chose the rose. Well, there's quite a lot of cards. I hope they're not too shiny. How you're... Hang about. I need space. I can't do that when the cards are all in the way. I'll put them down. I'm just going to put them down. This is what you're like in a relationship. Rebirth. So basically, it's like having gone through a transformation, being really you, being comfortable in your own skin, being happy. The shape shifting can be that you're quite flexible, as in not rigid, right? Quite flexible, able to go with the flow. Maybe you have to be a bit careful that you're not too flexible, that you stick to your own boundaries. But all in all, in general, we're going to find out more maybe with the other cards. We'll see in a minute. But all in all, you feel really good in a relationship. You are you. You feel comfortable, and yeah, just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Rebirth, you know. So also, because of spring, and rebirth, that's new life. So you probably feel quite inspired when you're in a relationship. And likely inspired to do things, to manifest things, to be active, and yeah, which can be anything, right? From just enjoying life to maybe work on manifesting your dreams. Maybe you are just more active in a relationship because you feel better. Then we're going to look at the card, how you're in, what you're like when you're not in a relationship. We have movement, the river, and fire, passion. Then I feel, because of these cards, that you are just going with the flow, and you can't see what's around the bend, and you're just going with it, you're going with emotions. It somehow makes me feel for this reading that you don't have many future goals or plans when you're not in a relationship. Or that you do have them, but you don't really take action to make them come true, to manifest these things. That you're more, well, the opposite of what I said here with the rebirth card, that you're just, just inactive, more inactive, not really doing things much. And you might still do stuff, of course, just you might still go out, but it's a bit like you lose your oomph, your zest for life. And that seems to contradict with the passion and the fire card. But I don't think it does, because this maybe you are still passionate about certain things, but like this dancer with the fire and passion, it's short-lived. This is not going to go on. This is not like this is maybe not so fiery as that, but this will continue to grow. This is rebirth. This will continue to grow and evolve and go from the baby stage to the adult stage, so to speak, with the ideas and the passions and everything. And this isn't. This is a short burst of passion, a short burst of action or whatever. So you likely still do things, but again, it seems to miss the future goals and planning, as if you sort of then start waiting until you're in a relationship again and feel like this again, so you can start cultivating things and start manifesting things and start really doing things that have a future. And yeah. So in a way, you hold yourself back. You're not completely. It's not like you're resistant or turn into a wallflower or anything. It's just that you don't chase your dreams anymore. That's basically what it is. You likely, you might even still go out and have fun and do things, but it's all short bursts of action, short bursts of fire. It's lacking the growth that the spring equinox has. And yeah, I don't, the shape-shifting card, I feel, it's also a bit like the going with the flow thingy. I don't feel it's negative per se. It's being able to be flexible, to go with emotions and to change directions. If you feel that if that is better for you, able to have dreams and fantasies as well, which is important if you want to really manifest, if you really want to feel good, that you have the ability to, well, just have these dreams and fantasies and be a bit playful and I don't feel this is negative, because it could have been being too flexible or seeing things that aren't there, but I don't feel that at all. So how can you streamline that better? These both speak of going inwards, of having inner knowledge about yourself, knowing what you want, knowing what you stand for. And the funny thing is, this is perspective, and this as well. Well, no, it's not really perspective. This is more receiving messages, receiving the Oracle of Delphi, receiving insights and wisdom, but then also interpreting them, so you can actually do something with them. So again, it's important to know what it is that you want, also outside of a relationship. And so you can also do it when you're not in a relationship. You have to be able to inspire yourself and not wait around or need a relationship in that sense to get inspired enough to start having that rebirth and growth and working on your dreams and plans. And the funny thing is, this is so important. And this is just very similar. This is really very important that you also... so it's about intuition, inner wisdom, and tapping into that, following that. And often you get these intuitive things or signals or whatever, but you don't know how to interpret them. You don't know what to do with them. And yeah, as an example, it's a bit extreme for this reading, but I've often had during meditations with visualizations that I got, that I saw things, that someone showed me things, and symbolically, right? And then I just didn't know how to interpret it. I just really didn't know what it meant, how to interpret it. And then I have this friend, a very good girlfriend of mine, and she is very good at that kind of stuff. She's also very intuitive, but for her it's easier to interpret messages like that. So then I had to tell her what I'd seen and what I had been shown, so she could then interpret it for me, almost like that priest is doing for the Oracle of Delphi, and then I could do something with it. So in that sense, it's like going inwards and getting clarity on what it is that you want, and then maybe even write it down. So you can also see patterns, maybe begin to see patterns of what it is you're always doing, patterns you're following and maybe shouldn't be following anymore, how you should do it differently, but also just to get clarity on what you want, how you want things, what you want, and what lights your fire, what so you can be like this outside of a relationship as well. Right. Well, I'm going to quickly move on to the numbers 2. I hope that resonated with you. Please let me know. I'm really always so curious to hear from you guys, to whether, it actually resonates. I always read every comment as well. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you're interested in my Forever Feminine course, don't forget to check out the link underneath the video in the description box, and I hope to see you again soon with another reading. And bye bye. Moving to the people who chose the perfume bottle. It's almost like Egyptian, right? With my previous recordings you couldn't really see it, but now I can record in HD. So you can see it. Let's go right into it. How do you feel? What kind of woman are you in a relationship? Well, let me get numbers 1 out of the way. We have blessings and perspective. Well, that's absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. You have the full spectrum of the rainbow, all these energies, all these colors, and you are radiant, you're shining and beaming, and you have a huge perspective of things, a broad perspective of things, and yeah, tapped in, tuned in, turned on in that sense. That's absolutely wonderful. That's just really wonderful. You, from what I can see, you feel really good when you're in a relationship. You feel really empowered. Yeah, you are empowered. Then you have that broader perspective of life, the universe, and everything. And what is the answer? According to the series, well, you can let me know if you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, yeah, I haven't much more to say about that. It's just absolutely brilliant, you know, the way you feel in a relationship, and then you also touch other people with your light. Yeah, and let's see if there's a difference when you're not in a relationship. We have vigilance and we have radiance. So I feel that, okay, you're still radiant at your summit, basically, right? Summer solstice is the summer solstice is well, sort of the highlight of the year, isn't it? When it comes to heat and all that, the growth as well. Because after summer solstice, the days start to shorten, and well, life. Well, it's getting to the ripening of seeds and fruits and things, and then it's well, back to winter. So this is basically the highlight in that way. So you still feel okay, and this vigilance is basically about intuition. Vigilance is not about being afraid. It's about being able to use your senses and your wisdom and common sense as well, but also your senses, your intuition, so to feel, sense whether someone, something is good for you, is right for you. So you keep that, yeah, the radiance, and you still continue to thrive and shine, and you also don't get like desperate or anything, or because you still have that that vigilance, that inner knowing to know what's good for you, and yeah. So that is actually really quite beautiful. I feel you're quite stable. I don't think there is all that much of a difference between you in a relationship and outside of a relationship. Maybe you are a little bit more on guard when you are not in a relationship, but not really in a very bad way. You're just careful. I think you're just careful. I think you're just careful. And the funny thing is, what you can do, the 2 cards of what you can do to bring these two together, this you in a relationship, you outside of a relationship, is also to do with intuition. Both. It's basically the same thing. It's tapping into your intuition and your sensing and trusting and knowing and your gut instincts. This one too. The Akashic fields is also connecting to your inner knowing, your inner guidance, your intuition, your gut instinct. So this is just 3 cards that go on about your intuition. So I don't think that there is all that much difference. You know, it's not like you lose your footing when you're not in a relationship. That's yeah, that's how I should phrase it. You don't lose your footing when you're single. You are still in touch with your inner guidance, your intuition, and and all that, and your gut instinct, and you're still radiant, you're still doing things, you're still going out. And okay, your light might be a little bit dimmed in comparison to being in a relationship. I get that, because the sun doesn't look all that happy, right? She's not smiling, or he, whatever you want to use to refer to the sun. But so you might lose a little bit of that extra gloss that you got when you are in a relationship. Well, I don't find that really odd. I mean, you're still shining. You're still passionate. You're still vibrant. You're still so very much alive and still doing things. So yeah, if this resonates, please let me know. If you like this reading, then please give me these thumbs up. Feel free to share. And if you feel there is still a bit of a gap between you in a relationship and you outside of a relationship, then yeah, what you have to do is stick to that inner guidance, that inner knowing, and just following your gut intuition. Your gut intuition. That's a new phrase, isn't it? That doesn't exist, I don't think. Your intuition and your gut instinct. And you really have strength. Just always remember that. You know, the lion he's got a lot of strength. Never forget that. It's funny because the lion is also ruled. The Leo, I mean, the star sign Leo is ruled by the sun. I wonder if you are if you chose this, if you are a fire sign, or maybe in a Leo even. Interesting. Really interesting. Right, thank you for watching, and again, also for you, if you're interested in my Forever Feminine course, and please follow the link underneath this video in the description box. I also, by the way, like this coming up for you, Egyptian. I don't know why I think of Egypt. Well, the sun, right? The sun, Egypt. Seems to go really well together. In any case, thank you for watching. I'm moving on to the numbers 3. The people who went for the diamond. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. I don't know, I've never gotten a diamond, but let's take their word for it. Whoever came up with it, wasn't it Marilyn Monroe? Don't know, whatever. Who are you when you're in a relationship? Love, compassion, all the feelings that come with that, able to connect, able to reach out, your heart is open, your heart is radiant, you're able, again, that's you find that here as well with vulnerability, if it's in a good way, vulnerability in a good way, then you don't fear being vulnerable, which means that you are able to open up to the outside world, to your partner, or just in general as well. Open up, show the real, authentic you, who you are, and you know, and even if you then have a setback, you have the inner strength to deal with that. So that's how you feel in a relationship. That's what you, with the kind of woman you are in a relationship. You're very warm, you're very open, you're very, yeah, really nice, soft, feminine, open. Now let's see what else we have got. When you're not in a relationship, then we have the synergy, and we have, I'll have to move the cards over so you can actually see them. Autumn equinox, and we have the green man. Well, that is really quite interesting. Release is about cycles of letting go, like the trees let go of their leaves, but then it's just part of a cycle. The trees are not going to die, even though the leaves fall, you know, because when after winter there's going to be spring, and then they will grow new leaves and new seeds and new flowers, etc., etc. This is just part of a cycle, the cycle of life and death, and it's ebb and flow of life, and you know, that stuff. So let's see how that combines with the synergy. I have to look that up. The synergy green man. You can only barely see the green man in here. Usually it's far more visible. It's, if you look, you can see eyes here and a nose there. It's very much hidden. They did that deliberately. They kept it subtle and embedded in the representation. Usually it's far more, in your face, so to speak. You have the advantage of an incredible synergy at this time. The flow of life is guiding you. Again, the flow of life. Isn't that wonderful? I just said that with that card too. Where things just seem to fall into place as you move about your business. You are in a mutually cooperative interaction with spirit as your will is aligned with the will of spirit, and your mission is congruent with your sense of purpose. When this is happening, there is a synergy, a way that your life is continually coming into balance with the forces of nature. There is also a synergy between your spiritual awareness and your your personal self or ego. Know that your higher self is always looking out for your best interests. In this cycle, tune in to that guidance, however it shows up, and you will find that you move through life with greater ease due to a synergistic balance. I feel that if you are not in a relationship, you need time to keep your balance almost, to keep in touch with the these cycles of life, like it's not literally death, right? Let's just go for ebb and flow, the ebb and flow of life. I feel you find that a bit difficult when you are not in a relationship, that you have a bit of difficulty with that. Going back and forth, maybe even, that sometimes maybe you are in balance and in tune with, but then, there's still these autumn, the release from the autumn trees. Maybe you also need a lot of time to get over a relationship, or after it, if it's gone wrong. I'm almost certain of that, because you do love and give a lot when you are with someone in a relationship. You do give a lot. You love wholeheartedly. But I also feel you find it difficult to be alone. You just find it difficult to be alone. You just feel better. You just thrive more or better when you are in a relationship. And that's why you have this problem in a way, however slight that might be for some, that you are not really in your groove. You're not really in the groove. That's it. You're not really in the groove when you're not in a relationship. It's as if you have problems finding your groove. Yeah. Even if you're okay with being alone, it's not the right groove for you. You don't thrive that way. That's interesting. I don't feel like for instance, you're desperate and clingy and needy when you're not in a relationship. I don't feel that. It just doesn't seem to be your thing. Even if you're doing quite okay, even if you have a social circle and you go out and you're still doing all the things you're supposed to do, so to speak, and even if you are over a relationship, a past relationship, you're still not really in your groove. That is peculiar. Let's see what you can do to sort that out, to make that go more smoothly. And I'm gonna have a very quick pause because I need a drink and I haven't got anything to drink and I'm talking all the time, right? So I'm going to take a very short pause. Right, so we're back. I'm sorry about that. I always have a glass of water right next to me and I'd forgotten to do that right now. Okay, about these two cards. My Archangel Michael, this is a Major Arcana card from the Akashic Tarot deck, and we have the Intelligence card, education, knowledge, perception and flexibility. Now this is not really about the the intelligence that we usually talk about, like the mental capacity, so to speak. It's the more holistic, expansive form of intelligence, where it's to do with the it's more wisdom actually. It's more wisdom, in just inner wisdom. It's and that is tangible and almost, and yet it's not. It's energetic. It's a flow. A flow. It's so funny because this really comes back again to this ebb and flow of life, knowing that there is seasons and the synergy thing that I just talked about as well. This is all about that flow of life, the cycle of life, and when you have wisdom, you understand that, and you're able to go with that too. And that is true inner wisdom. You know when you know, and I feel that this is that if you can just tap into that, and use that to your advantage, because you also have this Archangel Michael, so an awful lot of strength and courage, and you have the power to uplift people, to help people, like Archangel Michael does. You can bring upliftment and look at his wings. It's like huge light radiating out to touch other people's hearts. Look at his heart; it's on fire. And if you can just channel that energy that you normally have when you are in a relationship, that compassion, that love, that desire to connect, to reach out, and that your heart's shining, almost like Archangel Michael says in that card, and the vulnerability that allows you to be so powerful. Because here, that's why it's about vulnerability. This meadow, there is not really shelter here. Yet you go out on that meadow, even though there is no shelter, no protection from rain or whatever, from nothing, wild animals even, there's nothing. But you have that courage, you have that strength to do that, to go out there. And, and you can uplift people, including yourself if need be, but other people. I feel for most of you who chose this that you really have a higher calling in life. I feel you really have a higher calling in life, something you have to do. You have a purpose, and you know what that is, I think. And if not, then I do seriously encourage you to do some meditating to find out, to get more clarity as to what it is that you can do that fills your own heart, that makes you happy, that makes your heart sing with joy. And then reach out and spread that across the world and share it with other people. That's what you have to do to gel these two things together. Because you can be in the groove always. You can be in the groove. And then sure, maybe you will still have that added bonus when you're in a relationship. You know that, of course, that's always bloody wonderful to share your life with someone and to share love and all that stuff. But in a way, what you give in a relationship, what you are and have and do, and what you give in a relationship and to a relationship, you shouldn't stop doing that when you're not in a relationship. There is a higher calling. You really have a higher calling to do something. And that doesn't have to be anything grand like opening a spiritual center or anything, Having a higher calling, for instance, bringing joy to people, you can do that when you go to the supermarket, or when you go to the library, or when you smile at someone in the street. That's also bringing joy to people. It doesn't have to be like, okay, oh my God, it doesn't have to be like that at all. And maybe it will come from that, after all, I don't know. But you do have a higher calling, and you have to tap into that. You have to do that, because in a way you do know that life has an ebb and flow, and that there is a cycle of life, and sometimes things just slow down, and that the leaves have to fall so that in after a period of rest in spring there can be new life, a new cycle will begin. You do know that. And you will feel so much better if you actually tap into that inner wisdom and do something with it, because you have to. That's what you have to do to gel these two aspects, so to speak, together. And then you can still have a relationship, but you don't have to limit it to just a relationship, to feel like this, to be like this. You have to be like this always. This is you. You have to be like that always. And you can get there by tapping into your inner wisdom, your true inner wisdom. And if you really haven't a clue what that is, then just find some courses or something, intuitive development, or even a shamanic thing, or whatever. Do meditations, because you do have a very, very strong higher purpose. And I know everyone has got that in life, okay? But for you there is something special, something really, you have to do something with it. You really have to. Well, okay, I have nothing more to say about that. That's it for you. Multifaceted diamond, right? That's why I chose a diamond as a logo for my practice site as well, because it has these facets, all these different facets, and you are likely like that as well. Not just this and this and this. No, there's much more to you. You just have to find out. You have to discover all these different facets of you, and then start doing something with it, and then you will be like this always, whether in a relationship or not. Please let me know if that resonated with you. Then I'm going to move on to the numbers 4 that chose. Oh, hang about you. I'm completely lost. Oh yeah, the lighthouse is numbers 4. Thank you for watching. If you do feel called to my Forever Feminine course, and check out the link underneath this video in the description box, and otherwise I will see you hopefully in with another reading really very soon. And leave me comments please, and likes if you liked it. Thank you. Okay, moving to the numbers 4, the last set, the people that chose the lighthouse with the booklets with the lighthouse. Right, we have what are you like in a relationship? We have earth magic, fairies, and we have a forest, breath. I feel with these two cards that you are quite relaxed when you are in a relationship. You are very much, you are yourself, in tune with your true nature. You take care of yourself really well too. You likely are very connected to nature, literally, because fairies are. They have all to do with flowers and nature. Also taking care of the environment. When you have a connection with fairies, the fairies do seriously appreciate it when you are environmentally friendly. So taking garbage, plastic and bottles to the bottle bank, plastic to the, whatever you call that in English, the plastic bank, whatever it is, cans, etc. And, environmentally friendly, and taking care of plants and nature, enjoying nature, finding, peace and quiet, and when you are in nature. I do feel that you feel really yourself, your true self, when you are in a relationship. I also get a sense that you might be off on your own quite a lot. Enjoy your you time. That you need these moments of rest and peace and quiet, so that you do not like to always have a lot of hustle and bustle and people around you. That you need that forest space, that open, that meadow, that place in the forest where you can just sit and Just breathe. Breathe in the fresh air and the colors and the smells and all that stuff. I do feel you need that. And you might like to go out and have fun and socialize and party, but I do feel you don't want that all the time. I think you are quite, quite to yourself, but you really are happy. You feel fulfilled, truly fulfilled when in a relationship and when with a partner who appreciates you for being that way, who really sees you for who you are, and maybe the kind of partner who joins you, takes you by the hand to the forest, sits there with you, and you rest your back against a mighty old oak, and even if it's not his own thing, but he knows that you need that. I think that's the kind of partner you're looking for as well. You really are yourself, your true, authentic self. You take real good care of yourself when you are in a relationship, both your mental, emotional, and your physical self. Just basically everything. Let's see what we have for when you're not in a relationship. Then we have purification and the lotus flower unfoldment. And then I do feel that you are, when you're not in a relationship, you don't take care of yourself so well anymore. You don't. It's more like you constantly sort of have to cleanse your energy and work on keeping your vibration high, and like this in itself is usually is a very good card. The lotus flower, very positive, but it also the lotus flower also disappears at night, and sometimes you have to go through such a phase, right, where it's dark in underwater when you're submerged and in emotions, but then you're submerged in emotions again. Water, and here as well, water is pouring down on you when you're in the rain. And it's raining cats and dogs, it's not just a little bit of rain, it's a steady downpour. I feel that when you're not in a relationship, you don't take care as well of yourself as you do in a relationship, both emotionally but also physically. I wonder, and if you chose this, please let me know in the comments, because I really am curious. I feel very strongly that you don't even eat really healthy then. Maybe you go for the ping microwave meals when you are single, as opposed to cooking healthy food and meals that you would do likely when you are in a relationship. Maybe you don't eat enough fruit. You just don't seem to take real good care of yourself. It's as if you don't enjoy that as much anymore then. As if you... But you have to find yourself worthy enough to do that, even when you're not in a relationship. Because this is quite the difference with this. This is really wonderful and relaxed and feeling good and, in tune, really in tune with you and yourself, your true innate nature, and also with nature. Plants, flowers, spirits, animals as well, I feel. Yes, animals too. Yep. But that all seems to go out the window when you're not in a relationship. Well, isn't that a crying shame? And let's see what you can do to combine these two to change that, right? So that you always feel good. And we have reflection, and we have pleasure. Enjoyment, beauty, sensuality, indulgence. Isn't that interesting? Indulgence. This is basically about enjoying things, finding stability in a way through the senses of the physical body. So using touch, smells, flavors, just all these things that will help you to feel good about your body, to feel, to come back into your authentic feminine energy. Because this is also the sacral chakra. It's orange. It's got an orange line, frame, whatever around it. It's a sacral chakra card. And sacral chakra is all about feminine energy, feminine strength. Feminine energy is also about just being empowered as a woman is about relating, creativity, also enjoying the body. And you're not doing that so well when you're not in a relationship, so you really have to do that, and then make it fun, pleasure, make it fun. So not like, that's what I do maybe most of the time. I have to admit, when I have to cook a meal, for instance, I so don't like cooking. I can cook really well. It's just I just don't like it when I'm on my own to cook. Then it's like, bleh, I have to stop doing what I'm doing, and I actually really like doing what I'm doing. Now I have to cook. But you have to find pleasure in it again. Pleasure in whatever it is in your physical body, the pleasures it can give you. And this is also, your yin powers are widely open at the moment. So again, feminine energy, you step back into your feminine energy through the body, through the senses, to get there again. I have to cut it short because I'm going into a second video otherwise, and I don't want that, not for this last bit. This is everything I had to tell you anyway. Please leave me comments, and thank you for watching. If you're interested in the Forever Feminine course, then please follow the link in the description box. And please let me know how this resonated for you. Thank you. Bye bye.